Hello everyone, this is my very first lecture. I'm happy to, just welcome. Now, our subject today is one of the most popular creepypastas, Eyeless Jack. Now, let's start off with the basics. So, tar-like substance often falls from his mask. Most likely the sockets is what I've heard and seen in a lot of fan art. And he's often recognized for his blue mask. Now, it's quite obvious he has no eyes, and in this picture, it displays gray skin. Now, I wouldn't exactly take my word on the hair color. It's never exactly defined. At least I don't believe. Probably wasn't paying attention. Alright, so let's start with, the tar-like substance. Now, so, here we go. Tar-like substance comes from the colt. Now, the colt is what caused the way it caused him to be what he is now. You see, he was a normal college student once, until he was besieged by one of his classmates, Jenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are you talking so slow? And you're not very good at this, and your camera has bad quality. May I ask you just one simple question? Do you really think you could do any better? I mean, seriously, this is my phone, and I know I'm not supposed to give away personal information, but I'm in my early teens. Please, cut me some slack. Alright, now, continuing. So, Jenny told Eyeless Jack, excuse my crude drawing, I know I can do better, but I just don't really care right now. Told Eyeless Jack, hey, come on by, this will be lots of fun. Now, Eyeless Jack, just Jack at the time, wasn't exactly sure of how to behave, but he figured it'd be nice to just hang out with some regular students. After all, this was college life, and it is kind of difficult, I suppose. Now, so the two went off into the woods near the dorms, near the college in general, to a big, scary cave, where Jenny and all her other friends would hang out. They told Jack that they hang out here often, and eventually he warmed up to them. That was a really, really bad move. You see, in the end, there was in the end of the creepypasta I read at least, which I am led to believe was the more realistic version, as odd as this may sound. So, the cult, led by Jenny and a few others, her friends, tied Jack down. And then, from my basic understanding, he was meant to be the living Chernabog, which was their god of death, I believe. They believed he would send them to eternal happiness, or I don't remember exactly. I probably should have studied more. My apologies. So poor Jack was held against his will, and they got a spoon-like object, I believe is what they said, with a slight curve to it, and scooped out his eyes. Then they replaced the eyes with a tar-like substance. And therefore, that leads to how that got on his mask. Now, I'm not exactly sure if he cries the substance. I don't believe he does. In fact, it most likely hardened, leaving a coat inside his sockets. Now, the reason you may be wondering why it's always trailing down his mask is most likely because that is the old tar-like substance that was left behind during the night of the cult, which he was given a mask, just like the mask the others wore. Now, that was the traditional mask, is from what I understood. Now, I don't have much time left to explain this, but I'll try to get over as much as I can very quickly. Now, Eyeless Jack, from my calculation, should stand around either a good 5'7", at the very, very least, which I understand is very short for an 18-year-old male, usually. And so, let me write this down. 5'7" to, I'd estimate, around 6'4". Now, that's a big difference, I know, but therefore, from my basic understanding, that would lead him to be around, I'd say, 150 pounds to 220. Now, I know my calculations must be off, but this is what all the information I've learned in at least one day. So, cut me some slack. I only got 5 hours of sleep last night. Alright, now, I have to wrap things up, but I will make a part 2 if it's requested. And hopefully you'll learn a lot more valuable information than you did this time. My apologies for it being so crude, but this was my very, very first lecture, and I hope to make plenty more in the future. Tomorrow's episode, or lecture, will be about Ben Drowned, so stay tuned. This is Professor Pasta, and this was my lecture on Eyeless Jack. Why don't you research for yourself? Until next time.